Hi, my name's Michael. I'm a photographer and environmentalist living here in Melbourne. For the last 10 years or so, I've worked to try to educate people about their climate and environmental impacts. While there's been some victories, there's been lots of head-banging moments along the way. A few years ago, I realised that I was only telling half of the story. That when we talk about carbon here, the real other side of the story is the huge impact that climate change has on people on the other side of the world. So when there was an opportunity to work in Bangladesh on climate change, I jumped on it. Over the year there, I saw many tragedies associated with climate change. I saw villagers living in coastal areas crying over relatives who had lost to cyclones. I saw urban families living in slums that faced acute water shortages, food shortages. But amongst all the tragedies, I saw real resilience. There are so many stories. Local women who had banded together to rebuild a bridge that had been washed away by floods. Indigenous people that held on to their culture, their traditional knowledge, their hundreds of strains of rice in the face of monocultures. And families living in slums that took to the streets in the richest neighbourhoods of Dhaka to protest over the destruction of their homes. Before I left Bangladesh, I promised to myself that I would take back some of these stories into my own home community. And so that's where the idea of a photo book was born. I wanted to use my photography skills to share these stories back home. The book for this project is a collection of those stories. Stories of both hope and despair in Bangladesh, and shows the lives of that nation. So this is where you come in. By buying a copy of the book, or other offerings, you'll be helping to spread these stories back in your own community. Also, profits from the sales will go towards 2 inspiring projects run by local Bangladeshi NGOs to support 2 communities back there that are the most risk from climate change. The first project, which is run by Jago Foundation, provides schooling for the slum children of the capital Dhaka. Whilst I was there, I lived close to one of the largest slums, and every day I'd see children begging whose parents couldn't afford them to send them to school. Schooling gives these kids a chance to break the poverty cycle. The second project, run by the Bangladeshi Krishak Federation, supports training for landless peasant women in Dhaka. These women have to struggle daily against both gender inequality and natural disasters that pummel their lands. The training will give them both tools and resources to bring back to their communities to help stand up for their families and livelihoods. And to show just how hard Bangladeshi people work, I'll be paying myself for this project in Bangladeshi wages. Minimum wage, which when adjusted for purchasing power is around 75 cents an hour. This project, this fundraising campaign, is an initiative of a brand new community group called Bangladeshi Peasant Solidarity Network. It's a group of people, tiny group, based here in Melbourne, who are passionate about telling the stories of those most marginal in Bangladesh. Help us to share those stories and to make a real contribution to their lives by making your kind donation to the project. We hope that you can be as inspired by it as we are. Thank you.